these people are not what you think they are. And unfortunately, the bad rep that sportsmen and sportswomen get is just from, unfortunate things online that kind of get taken out of context.
I'm a hunter, a trapper, and I'll never let an animal sit there and suffer.
We take joy in seeing an animal that we set a trap for in the trap, but we take no joy in killing it. It's not like my quota of bloodlust is filled today.
The people who are opposed to this, they are willing to do anything and go through all means to stop what they realistically don't understand, and the words that they use, the things that they call us.
They will dox members of the community, people who are not part of the political conversation, just individuals living their lives with their children. A 13-year-old girl who had trapped her first beaver, her mother wrote this eloquent post about how much trapping had helped her develop, and how it had helped her in her schooling and in her social life and all this other stuff. And they turned it into this terrible thing for that family by posting a link to that and saying, here, go tell these people what you think. When the messaging from the other side is all these people care about is torture, murder, they're troglodytes, they're sadists, they're horrible human beings, I question why that is accepted.
Not all activists are radical in their opinions. There are many that will work with us and the Fish and Wildlife Department to manage wildlife correctly. And that's the way Vermonters solve problems, is working together and not demonizing one another, not threatening one another.
I have been doing this job for a skosh under 10 years now. I have personally investigated 2 situations where a domestic dog was killed in traps, and both of those were sets that were blatantly illegal for a variety of reasons. So I have not investigated personally an incident where a domestic animal was killed by a legally set trap.
This trap is a very specific trap. The only animal that can get caught in this trap is one who is entering from underneath the ice or who's going underneath the ice. And just based on what we know about wildlife, there you go. Her tendency is not to go under the ice. Otters and beaver, the only 2 species who, if they were outside, would naturally want to dive. A raccoon's not diving in there, a coyote's not diving in there. There's no scent here, there's no nothing. We are utilizing the ecology of the beaver to try and attract them to this spot based on exactly what and we saw how the dog interacted with it. It just hopped over it.
We're not getting dead dogs from regulated trapping. We're getting dead dogs from people who stepped outside the bounds.
We cannot eliminate all risk in life. Nobody can. There's no regulation that does. There are crashes on the interstate every day. Fatal crashes on a regular basis. Do we stop driving? No. But we try to minimize that risk. We wear seatbelts, we follow the speed limit.
And that's what a set trap looks like. The way it works is you put it someplace where an animal's gonna go, and the animal swims through it, and just like a mouse trap that we used to catch mice, it captures an animal and the animal expires.
This is what they classify as a dog proof. Some people call them coon cuffs.
Here's 2 simple ways that we use to set coon cuffs. I use my hands, Riley uses a tool.
They hold, they don't hurt or anything. It's more like a handcuff for them.
This is the foot he was caught on. You wouldn't even know there was a trap on there.
These are called foothold traps, not leg hold traps. Once an animal steps on it, it catches it across the fleshy part of the paw. The animal can't go anywhere. It's much like a set of handcuffs. You're restraining something, you're not maiming it. It is merely held there.
Hey, there you go. Okay, here we go. Hopefully it'll run off. Okay, go on.
Using good quality equipment and the best practices, an animal that's captured in a foothold trap can be released really without any harm.
There's a one bill to change trapping regulations to include best management practices. And before we could even get that through legislature, there are 2 more bills out to try to end trapping.
It's very important that people on both sides of the issue pledge to disagree peacefully and to have these discussions like adults.
When we only look at a single issue without putting it in context of broader economics, broader social dynamics, I think we really do a disservice to the conversation.
I would try to discourage legislators from voting to ban trapping.
If you have any questions, you should call the Fish and Wildlife Department.
I would urge decision makers to look beyond the emotion of this topic. Take a second and look at the science and listen to these people who have dedicated their lives to wildlife management. Listen to your biologists. None of them want bad things for wildlife. They are a proponent of trapping because it's a strong tool.